Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Zane, and today we'll be having a look at Beefy Finance. We'll go for a full introduction of Beefy Finance. We'll go through some of the latest updates on the Beefy Finance blog because they've got some really interesting points that we need to discuss. We'll also go for a price analysis and price prediction, which shall be really fun because the price is extremely high right now, and it's on the trending list on CoinMarketCap. Now, in the last 24 hours alone, it's risen over 39.50%. This brings the price to $811.56. That's rather impressive. The reason of this is because the circulating supply is insanely low at 72,000 coins in circulating supply. That's with a max supply of 80,000 coins. Yeah, that's incredibly low. Like you can see, the market cap is quite reasonable. It's 58.4 million in market cap, which isn't too bad. I must admit that isn't too bad. That's basically the valuation of the entire cryptocurrency. And that's 58 million. That's rather good. That's an honest evaluation. And lately it's dipped in price by a lot. It was as low as $402. And it wasn't too long ago that the price was well above $1,710, and this was at the end of March. And earlier this year, if you go back at the middle of February, it was $2,564. But if you keep going back, this is where it gets interesting. Like the latter parts of 2020, the price of the token was just around $79, $85 sometimes. Towards the end of the month is where the price really started to rise. Towards the end of the month and the start of the new year in 2021 last year. And at its all-time high, it was just above $3,000 with a 220 million in 24 hours trading volume. That's massive. That's a lot of money. Put that into comparison and what it's doing right now. It's roughly around 45 million in a given 24 hours trading volume. That's a big difference. Basically, at its all-time high, it was trading 4 times as much what it's trading now. So that was quite impressive. Now that we've had a look at the price, what exactly is Beefy Finance? Well, it's a decentralized and multi-chain financial platform that is not confined to the blockchain network. It is also a yield optimizer that enables users to earn compound interest on their token holdings. So since its inception, Beefy Finance has committed to providing the greatest annual percentage yield, that's an APY or APYs, in an efficient and safe way. So its automatic boost uses rewards from a variety of DeFi-based liquidity pools and automatically market maker. That's an AMM application, an automatic market maker. Now the primary product is the vault of Beefy Finance, which is used to stake users' cryptocurrency tokens. Specifically, it's used to stake tokens. So users essentially retains complete control over their assets, securely stored in the platform's vault. That's the main product of Beefy Finance. Now, the network is designed as a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization that is used by many different crypto organizations, which is good. The more DAOs I hear of, that is good. That puts me in a good mood, a good vibe, because I know it's governed by the community. And any crypto that's governed by the community will do what benefits the community most. It's not centralized in itself, like Coinbase or Binance. They're both centralized. Beefy Finance itself is all operating under a DAO, and anybody holding the token can vote on its governance to improve future decisions. So during this process, the investment strategy is fundamentally tied to a particular vault. So in addition to this strategy, is a compound yield farm reward is equal to your initial asset deposit. So in other words, Beefy Finance is a auto compounder, taking your yield earnings and reinvesting them to boost your earnings, your gains, your holdings. Your value continues to rise. That's quite unique, and that's what makes Beefy Finance so unique, especially right now in the current market. So before we get to our price analysis, I hear you're asking, how exactly does Beefy Finance work in a more nuanced way? In terms of the vault, the main product, On DEXs, a decentralized exchange, you often manually invest or harvest, sell rewards, continually reinvest, or acquire more tokens. Now, Beefy's vault can do this automatically and at the highest possible frequency. So each vault has a unique strategy stated in the underlying structure of the smart contract code. Specifically, their primary objective is to increase your yields. Once again, increasing your holdings, increasing your token value that you've invested in their liquidity pool. Now, furthermore, the vault's objective is to automatically process investments and reinvest funds, assisting in attaining compound interest at high rates. Once again, they did state that their objective is to provide the highest APY they can, the highest APY annually at least, a percentage yield. And that's one of their primary focus. So on Beefy's platform, the three kind of vaults are available are single asset vault, stablecoin vaults, and liquidity pools. Liquidity pools for basically investing, kind of like staking. Stablecoin vaults for essentially a lockaway. You put your stablecoins in there because most people don't use stablecoins as investments. They use them as a safe way to store money. Single asset vaults is where you want to be a bit more particular. If you want to invest just a single currency, that's more for you. Now, another thing I need to add is that Beefy Finance is based on Binance Smart Chain, and its objective is to optimize and minimize yield farming automatically. Now, being based on Binance Smart Chain does give it some unique perspective, because it's within the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, and that's quite vast in itself. In itself, it's competing directly against Ethereum, and as you may know, Ethereum in itself is quite vast, being the second most popular cryptocurrency by market cap and an overwhelming amount of dApps in development on that platform. And this is directly what Binance Smart Chain is competing with, and they're using Beefy Finance to compete in that stage. They're using multiple dApps and platforms to compete in that space. Now, Beefy Finance itself basically puts it at being one of the most largest platforms on the Binance Smart Chain, which is good. This is with a liquidity pool of roughly around 463 million, and this was before the recent crash. Let me state, the recent crash in the ecosystem, this is before that crash, possibly when the price was above $1,000. Right now, it's considered to be undervalued, being below $1,000, given that the circulating supply or the max supply doesn't even top 100 million or 100,000 token, not even 100,000 token. The rarity of this token, the understatement of the year, possibly. Now, with the circulation of token, 72,000 tokens are separated from a remaining 8,000 tokens for the team to guarantee speedy development and innovation of the product. That's why the circulating supply and the max supply differs, because there's an extra 8,000 that are left over specifically for developers' compensations. Basically, if you develop on the network, you will be compensated with the tokens in return. That's good. That is really good. That keeps them incentivized. If you look at the price of the token, you can clearly tell what investor wouldn't want to develop on Beefy Finance with such a high price in token value and such a low supply of token. Now, we've got quite a vast history of this token. Obviously, from late 2020, there's a vast history of this token. Take that into consideration. Over 2 years now. Over 2 years of history of this token that you can reflect on to get a proper understanding of where this token could go. We know it can go as high as $3,000 at its highest, and this was at the best time in the past couple of years for crypto. And this was at the early points in 2021, the early points. The later points in 2021, such as November last year, it was doing relatively okay. It was actually just around 1,400, so it was doing relatively okay. But it really did well this year, and that was in February. It did extremely well, $2,584. So we know this token has really unique abilities. We know it have unique features that gives it more value. The question is, how useful is this to people? It's extremely useful because it's run by a DAO. It's more trustworthy. People will continue to use it because of that decentralized privacy, because of that decentralized run by the community status. People will use it more, just like Ethereum. Although some would question how just how decentralized Ethereum is. But I believe you get my point. It's useful for people, and it will become more and more useful days after days. Realistically, in my opinion, this puts the market cap, in my opinion, realistically, above $59 million, in my opinion. Far above $59 million. But of course, it's on its way to receive even more features. And the more and more features this platform receives, the more and more useful it will become. These are some of the partners, starting with Binance Smart Chain, AVAX, Avalanche, Polygon Matic, Phantom, Harmony, Oasis, and I do love Oasis. Anyone who's used to this channel knows just how much I love Oasis. Moonbeam, Aurora, Metis, the list goes on. It's a long list. And Cello as well, including Moonriver. So it's got huge backing. It's got a good history of the price being above 1,000 and sometimes even 2,000. It's got a max supply. It's decentralized, fully decentralized, run by a DAO. We know for certain that it can get back to 3 grand. We just don't know when. But realistically right now, I think the market cap should be at least above 200 million. And that's just me basing it on other platforms that are doing a similar thing. And other platforms, some of them are in the hundreds of millions in market cap. This is only 59 million in market cap. It's really undervalued right now and unpopular. But that's partly because it's continuing to develop its own features. But it wouldn't be out of the question for you to expect a crypto like this in the next bull run. That is the next bull run that is unexpected at this moment. It's possible for it to hit 3 grand again. But long term, you can expect this crypto to hit 4-5 grand, just it being decentralized on its own. It being decentralized, giving it less of a chance that it's controlled by one person, less of a chance than it being shut down, less of a chance than something happening that happened to Terra Luna. But thank you for watching this video. This is what we should earn. So subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching until the end, and I will see you in my next video. Subscribe.